A little bit of a different spin on the dog days of summer as a furry friend tries to stay hydrated on a nice sunny afternoon here on the north side. It's the Hyundai leadoff man. We're set for the Brewers and the Cubs on WGN. Hi again, everyone. I'm Len Casper. Welcome to the leadoff man, the first of a three-game weekend series. The Cubs 3-3 through the first 6 on this homestand, and starting today, 20 of their final 23 games will be against their own division, and it has been a struggle. The Cubs have gone 19-37 against their own division, including 4-8 against the team one game ahead of them, the Brewers. This is after the Cubs went 4-13 versus Milwaukee last year. Pitching matchup today, Chris Russin, the left-hander for the Cubs, veteran Kyle Loesch for Milwaukee. We'll hear from Dale Swaim coming up. A time for our Hyundai Dealers Spotlight. The leadoff man is brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come test drive the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe. Visit myhyundaichicago.com. Hyundai leadoff man, brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come test drive the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe. Visit myhyundaichicago.com. Well, welcome back. Veteran right-hander Scott Baker has been with the Cubs all year. He's made 8 rehab starts. He had Tommy John surgery in April of 2012. And on Sunday, he will make his first big league appearance since September 24th, 2011, when he was a Minnesota Twin. Let's hear from his manager, Dale Swaim.
Well, I mean, he's done everything we've asked, and he's worked his butt off, and there hasn't been any setbacks, and I think he deserves a chance to start and see what happens when obviously the third deck gets on there, and he'll be the first one to say obviously he's the stuff isn't have the life, but when you put the third deck on a stadium and you find out with the different adrenaline and all that, so I think he deserves the right to be able to have a chance to do that.
What's the key for a guys who like the Moyers or the Maddoxes later in their stage of pitching to pitch at 85, 86 and get people out?
Well, I mean, Maddox, you're dealing with, somebody that's could make a ball move, a tremendous amount, with the fastball. And, he was a unique guy that could do that later in his career because of the movement he had and the feel for pitching. And, obviously, the other guys, that you come across and, you know, the bottom line is they usually have really good, you know, glove side and arm side control, and they're still down in the zone. You know, Moyer was still the same. He was still down in the zone and could pitch, you know, to his, you know, arm side down to right-handed hitters, and you know, so it's, you know, the bottom line, it doesn't matter a lot of times how hard, it's still the same thing. You're the fastball command down and you know, down and away from hitters.
If he's okay, would you go with 6 guys?
You know, we'll cross that bridge, you know, when we get to it, but you know, we'll just, you know, let him start on Sunday and you know, evaluate and see where we are then.
Yeah, is this also good for you guys? It's also good for you guys to kind of at least get some idea how he might look going forward into the offseason and spring.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good for all parties. I think, obviously, us, and for him, you know, as much as anything. You know, this was, you know, a guy coming off, you know, Tommy John, and you know, he's had to be down in Arizona almost the whole year, and he's done everything we've asked, and he's been the ultimate professional and worked hard and done everything he can to come back and be healthy, and you know, but it is good for him. Going into the winter, it's good for us to see and evaluate to see what's going to go on after this.
Talk to Bard a little bit. You want to get him in a game after a couple of sessions, obviously on the side, and get him in a game too. At some point.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a necessity, but you know, the timetable will be up to him, and you know, obviously evaluate and see where he is, and you know, we'll go from there. But there's not a timetable at all to when he's going to get on the mound, or even if he does get on the mound.
Is there any thought at all to bringing up anybody else, like when
No, I'm not saying, you know, but it's a 99% chance there's nobody else coming.
That's Dale Swaim. You heard the note about Daniel Bard, who's in the Cubs pen. We're not quite sure if he will pitch or not, coming off an abdominal injury. And now we go first to third. The Reds winning 3 of 4 against St. Louis in their final series of the year against the Cardinals. It won't get any easier tonight. The Reds will host the Dodgers. Oakland has dropped a half game back of Texas as they lost to the Astros. And Vince Scully, the Grand Marshal of the Rose Parade, coming up. Congrats to Clayton Kershaw as well, the Branch Rickey Award winner for community service. We'll have more coming up in a moment. Man, brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come test drive the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe. Visit myhyundaichicago.com. Now the Cubs minor league report. 3 teams are in the playoffs, including AA Tennessee. Best of 5 series, trailing 1-0. Right-hander Dae-Un Ri will go at Birmingham tonight. Daytona continues to pitch extremely well. It's a best of 5 Florida State League Championship Series as they lead Charlotte 1-0. And the Boise Hawks in the Northwest League, best of 3 Championship Series. Right-hander Dylan Maples will face Vancouver. We'll have Cubs baseball next. Postcard weather once again today on the north side of Chicago as WGN Sports brings you Chicago Cubs baseball. The Brewers and Cubs open up a weekend set, and we welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Great to have you with us. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. The Brewers a game up on the Cubs for 4th in the NL Central. Let's talk shortstops. A couple of guys who've been all-stars, Gene Segura and Starlin Castro.
Yeah, for a time, Starlin Castro owned that designation, best young shortstop in the game. The numbers have flipped a little bit this year, but Segura, an all-star, having an outstanding year. 39 steals to lead the National League. He's hitting for average, doing a lot of things well. The good news for Castro, although it's been a down year, lately much better. Last 6 games, 375. He's hit safely in 9 out of his last 10.
Been a tough go for the Brewers this year, but Kyle Loesch has been a bright spot, and same goes for Chris Russin.
Yeah, Loesch just solid, steady guy, 9-8, 332. Doesn't walk anybody, 33 free passes all year. Russin just needs a little run support. 1-3 in 6 August starts, despite an ERA in the mid-2s.
Let's go down to the field for our national anthem.
Ray, what is he doing over there? What is he doing? You see him? Yep. Unfortunately.
At this time, please rise. Kindly remove your caps and join Stolen Silver as they honor America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets racked out, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, it's been a trying year at times for Starlin Castro, but looking for a strong finish. 9 hits over his last 6 games. We'll have the Cubs hosting the Brewers next. Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Bud Light Music First. It's the sound of history being made. Here we go. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer or go to shophonda.com for current offers. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with products and services from AT&T. Rethink possible. Chicago Cubs baseball, coast to coast in high definition on WGN TV is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Let's get the Milwaukee Brewers starting lineup written out by their manager, Ron Renicky. Even without Ryan Braun, still somewhat formidable. Nori Aoki, a tough out, especially against lefties. Segura, the all-star we mentioned. Jonathan Lucroy has knocked in 71, leading all catchers. Former Cub Aramis Ramirez will clean up. Carlos Gomez in center has struggled here a bit lately. Sean Halton will get the start at first. Jeff Bianchi at second. Ricky Weeks done for the year after hamstring surgery. Logan Schaefer in left for Chris Davis, who was a late scratch. And Los, the pitcher, will bat ninth.
And time now to take a look at the Cubs defense. It's brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. You see the outfield alignment. Lake Sweeney, Sherholtz left to right. Murphy, Castro, Barney, Rizzo on the infield. Darwin Barney continues to pace National League second baseman in fielding percentage. He's made just 4 errors all year. Wellington Castillo is the catcher today for lefty Chris Russin. Chris has made 9 starts for the Cubs this year. He's 2-3, despite a very good 2.74 ERA. In his last 4 starts, while he's been in the game, the Cubs have scored just 10 runs.
Former big leaguer Robert Fick's favorite home plate umpire, Marvin Hudson, will call balls and strikes. The crew chief, Tim McClellan, Marty Foster, and Wally Bell will handle the bases. Never forget Fick's season debut, maybe about 5-6 years ago with the Nationals. It was like 6 weeks into the season. Took a called third strike in the first inning and said the 3 magic words, and Marvin Hudson threw him out.
You're the man?
No, it had you in it, and it had Marvin in it, but the other word we can't repeat.
Yeah, probably not a good idea for us or for Robert.
Here's Aoki batting .342 against left-handers. Among left-handed hitters in all of baseball, that's the best average versus southpaws.
Well, because he hangs in there. He keeps that front side in. He's not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He'll slap it on the ground, get some infield hits, punch it over the shortstop's head.
This is it. Only matinee. Everything else later tonight around baseball. And here we go. Up and in. Ball 1.
Russin, he gives you a lot of different looks. Fastball, cutter, changeup, curveball, and slider. A little cutter there. He likes that cut fastball. He's got a good changeup. He'll feature that primarily to the right-handed hitters.
Looking for his first home victory this season. Been a lot better on the road, although just a handful of starts. In that case, in beautiful weather, 76 degrees, a southeast breeze at just 6 miles an hour.
It's wonderful. It said so right there in the graphic. It's wonderful today.
4 starts at home for Russin. 0-3 with a .415. He's 2-0 on the road with a .163 in 5 starts.
You saw those left-right splits there. Lefty's hitting just .190. When you watch him pitch, you don't think, oh my goodness, this is a guy's just going to eat up left-handed hitters. But so far he has. This loose delivery kind of slings it up there.
He admits he's a lot more comfortable this year than he was last year when he made his debut off the mound, and gets Aoki. 7 starts last season with a high 6.37 ERA. I would imagine for any big league players, but especially starting pitchers, just get a couple of starts one year, and then that following winter you take a deep breath. You've been through it.
Yeah, especially for a finesse guy. Because I think a power guy, even with the nerves, his stuff will play. You know, if you're throwing 95 miles an hour, if you're nervous and you're not commanding it, you can just throw it by guys at times. If you're a finesse guy, you got to be able to command the ball, hit spots, work your way around the lineup. You know, the more you learn who to challenge, who not to challenge, all those things that come under the category of pitchability, they matter more for a guy who tops out at 88 miles an hour with a fastball.
Segura with a late swing, hit it foul. We would love to hear from you as always, and you can email us, Len and JD at Tribune.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter as well. The 1-1. This is low. Segura missed Wednesday's game for Milwaukee due to illness. Back in the lineup today. Leads the National League with 39 steals. His last home run came at the end of July here at Wrigley. The Brewers took 3 of 4. Popped into shallow center, and a backpedaling Darwin Barney will make the grab.
Yeah, last season for Milwaukee, they've had so many injuries that's been very difficult for them to overcome. Still middle of the pack in the league in terms of runs scored, so contemplate what they could have done if they'd been healthy. Corey Hart out all year. Ramos Ramirez has missed a bunch of time.
Ryan Braun.
Yeah,
suspended
right.
for the final 65 games. There's a Ramos.
Braun played in just 61 games this year. Matt Gamble was supposed to be the everyday first baseman. He didn't play a single game.
Weeks struggled before he went down with a hammy.
So that's the challenge. If you're Doug Melvin contemplating next year, do you just write this off, or do you need to blow it up, back up the truck? This guy's been really good.
Got off to a slow start, but his last 89 games he's hit .320. He's got a chance to set the Brewers franchise record for homers by a catcher. Dave Nielsen in 1999 hit 21. Lucroy was 17 as he drives one foul to left.
And Lucroy, one of the more underrated players in the National League. He's really good behind the plate. Against the righties, Rustin likes to work cutters in, change-ups down and away. Get a lot of ground balls, get them rolling over on that change. Now they're going to go up. Well, that was the plan anyway.
Russin, a Midwesterner from the Detroit area, went to the University of Kentucky. Facing Milwaukee for the second time in his career.
Whoop.
3-2. Pitched well in a 5-2 loss at Miller Park last August 21st. 5 innings, 1 run. Lucroy keeps the inning alive with a 2-out walk.
See that a lot. A pitcher gets a jump on a hitter and then starts to nibble a little bit, hoping to get that hitter to expand the zone. And if the hitter's patient, he'll be able to work the walk.
Only Ramirez's 70th start. JD mentioned it. Sprained left knee has put him on the DL twice this season. 239 career homers as a Cub over 9 seasons.
Likes to attack early. He's had a heck of a career. There his numbers here in this ballpark. 348 home runs as a third baseman, 7th all time. Handful behind Adrian Beltre.
351 total, all but 3 as a third baseman. His major league debut back in 1998 with the Pirates.
"35 years of age now. He's making his tour of the NL Central. Pirates, Cubs, Brewers.
He was 19 when he first came up. In '99, Dale Swaim's final major league hit came as a Pirate in this ballpark. Late September of that year, he was pinch hitting. He then stayed in at third, replacing Aramis Ramirez. So they were teammates. Kick in the 1-2. He just got a piece of it.
The third basemen who have hit more home runs than Aramis Ramirez. Pretty elite group. Mike Schmidt, Eddie Matthews, Chipper Jones, Greg Nettles, Matt Williams, and we mentioned Adrian Beltrell.
Yeah, that is a good list.
A couple of Hall of Famers. Chipper Jones will certainly be enshrined.
Third base has been a tough one in terms of Hall of Famers. Just ask fans of Ron Santo. Ronnie should have been in a long time ago. As Ramirez keeps the inning alive.
We talked about Russin liking to throw that changeup to get ground balls, but Ramirez stays through the ball and gets it airborne. A soft line drive single to center. He tries to pull that. Russin gets the ground ball he was looking for.
Now Carlos Gomez. First time All-Star. Big cut and a miss. He's just kind of been generally banged up lately. His right knee's been bugging him for a couple of weeks. Elbow, shoulder, thumb injuries along the way. Has not spent any time on the DL, but they have taken their toll. He was sitting at .319 with a .929 OPS on July 5th. Since then, he's hit just .212 with an OPS of about .660.
Now, he's a very aggressive hitter. And when you put up the numbers he put up early, pitchers are going to take note, and they're going to start to be a little more cautious. And the challenge for him is going to be a little bit more patient. Force them back into the zone. He keeps chasing pitches out of the zone. They're going to keep throwing it. Some orange in attendance here today. Syracuse plays at Northwestern tomorrow.
There is a Northwestern fan up there at the top of your screen, looks like.
And so they got Chicago, and that way if they get lost, people know where to return them to. Excuse me, sir, where? All right, Chicago. Let's get this guy back to Chicago.
By the way, just to quickly finish up the third base discussion, Hall of Famers, according to Baseball Almanac, there are 11 third basemen in the Hall of Fame, including the late Ron Santo. You mentioned Matthews, Schmidt, just a handful of others. Frank Baker, Wade Boggs, George Brett, Jimmy Collins, George Kell, Freddie Lindstrom, Pie Traynor.
Aye, sure.
I have to say that position is underrepresented.
Brooks, you mentioned Brooks Robinson.
Brooks Robinson, yes.
They need a good lobbyist. They need somebody, a third base guy, to go to bat for them. Could be your offseason mission.
I was thinking more like Brett and Schmidt. Another 3-2 from Russin, and they are loaded. This all happening after 2 were out, and it'll bring up rookie first baseman Sean Halton.
Well, Gomez having the at-bat that I talked about. If he's willing to take some walks, he'll get more strikes. Gomez showing patience this time, and now Russin's in a bit of a bind. Close enough. He was looking to swing the bat, but that one really not close enough. Never a strike. Didn't tempt Gomez. Early visit now from Chris Bazio.
You mentioned the injury problems the Brewers have had, particular Hart and Gamble. They've used 7 different starting first basemen, including 3 infielders who had never played the position prior to this year.
Yeah, that's really remarkable, right? Because first baseman, normally that's a position. You got your guy, you've signed on, power guy. Not a high risk position in terms of injury. They're not running into walls.
I've never seen a season quite like it. I mean, the guys who've made the most starts, Juan Francisco, Yuniesky Betancourt, and Alex Gonzalez, who's no longer with the team. None of those guys had any big league time at first prior to this year. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, you could see if they made a handful of starts there.
Halton checked his swing and fouled it off.
Big man here, Halton. Big man, big strong guy. Really good power numbers in the minor leagues. He's 25 games with the Brewers this year. Hit 11 home runs down in Nashville. Last year he led that club with 17.
To challenge you here on the college nicknames today.
Uh-oh.
I'll give you some time. We've got all weekend. But Halton went to Fresno City College and then Lewis Clark State College.
He found his way to Lewis Clark. Could be like Explorers, maybe?
It's always a good option. Castro will pick it up, gets rid of it quickly, and gets the out at first. The Brewers rally with 2 outs, but leave them loaded, and the Cubs are coming up. Toyota lets go places. They've hit 94 homers here at Wrigley, tied with the Orioles for most in their home ballpark. Castro, Barney, and Rizzo at the top. Sherholtz, Sweeney, Murphy in the middle, Lake, Castillo, Russin at the bottom.
Brewers in the field. Schaefer, a late addition to the alignment, very good defensive outfielder. Gomez can go get him. Aoki Salatu, very good defensively in the outfield. Are the Brewers. Ramirez, Segura, Bianchi, and Halton third to first. Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate, as I mentioned. Very good receiver, scores high marks in terms of framing pitches, and a guy who can really take advantage of that on the mound today for the Brewers. Kyle Loesch, great command. 9 and 8, 332, 172 thirds innings. Gives up a lot of home runs, but most of them are solo. Doesn't walk many. It's a good, smart veteran pitcher. Fastball, slider, change, curve. Throws strike one a high percentage of the time.
Lewis Clark State Warriors. Fresno City College Rams. Got it?
I never would have gotten the Rams.
1-0 on Castro. Good homestand, 9 out of 24. 4 doubles, 2 homers included. Fly ball to deep right. That ball well hit. Aoki back to the track and just enough room to make the catch. Southeast wind not helping. And Castro's bid for another home run.
Talk about Loesch showing first pitch strikes. Castro ready to ambush and put a pretty good swing on it. Good to see him drive the ball. And we talked a lot this year about Dale wanting him to pull the ball with more authority, but I think, even more importantly, just drive the ball. Get some extra base power working. This one doesn't pan out for him, but pretty good swing.
Called strike on Darwin Barney. 121st start after missing the first 12 games of the season with the knee laceration. Yeah, the way that Brewers' season has worked out, you might be able to say, well, the Kyle Loesch signing was not that big a deal in the end, as Barney hits one out into left center. Big turn. He's going to stick with a single. But, to kind of answer your question, and I didn't ask Doug Melvin his opinion, but I think they're going to bring back the team they generally have, and Loesch will have 2 more years on his contract. There was talk about maybe moving Giovanni Gallardo, but he's still a Brewer, and he'll pitch on Sunday. They've got Ramirez for another year next year. I think the big key is going to be Ryan Braun.
We have Ryan Braun and then starting pitching. Add some starting pitching to the guys they have here. I think offensively they should be okay. Parentheses, if they stay healthy or get healthy.
Anthony Rizzo takes a strike.
Any pitch, any count with Kyle Loesch on the mound. First pitch change up there.
So Loesch's odyssey over the offseason, after a 16-3 campaign with St. Louis, 211 innings, a sub-3 ERA, but the new compensation rules for free agents who get qualifying offers from their old clubs made a lot of teams skittish to go after him. That one lined the other way. Barney to second. He'll hold there. Boy, Schaefer came up firing right to second. He trying to get Barney coming around the bag. Back-to-back one-out singles.
Yeah, that will be noted in the Cub dugout. Make a mental note. Be careful. And Schaefer, knowing that Barney's not going first to third here, he actually angles his body a little bit as if he's going to throw towards third and then fires in behind Barney. So he kind of sets up like he's going to go to third and then makes the adjustment. Tries to catch him taking an aggressive turn at second base.
Now Nate Scherholtz. 2 on, 1 out. And the Brewers had to give up their first round pick, 17th overall. And Loesch only made 1 start right near the end of spring training after he signed. Signed on March 25th. Got his money, $33 million over 3 years, but I'm sure some anxiety along the way.
Yeah, probably long phone calls with his agent.
I don't like the new rules. Do you?
The compensation rules?
Well, yeah, and you got the top 10 are protected, so you don't want to encourage teams to tank in the final weekend if they're 11th or 12th. And they don't want to,
Right, and that's I don't know. You know, the NBA has the lottery. I don't know if baseball will consider doing something like that, but it does. You get to this point, and it's you know, it's industry wide, the perception that, well, you're better off, you know, being a team that loses 95 games than a team that plays 7 or 8 games under 500. Neither one of them is going to go to the postseason.
And I think that particular rule, it hurts teams who want to go after a guy like Kyle Loesch, and it hurts Kyle Loesch. So who does it benefit? Man, you're coming off the best year of your career, and you become a free agent, but you don't really feel like you're free. And again, nobody's crying for him. He got his money. There's a base hit in the left. Barney will be sent by David Bell. Schaefer up throwing. The throw's a little late. It was on target. Nate Scherholtz with his 64th RBI, and the Cubs lead early, 1-0.
Well, a good approach here by the left-handed hitters Rizzo and Scherholtz, both staying back because of the soft offerings from Loesch. Don't want to get fooled, willing to hit the ball the other way. Aggressive send by Bell with Schaefer out there in the outfield, but it pays off. Barney, good tight turn of third in ahead of that throw. Schaefer did everything right. He got there in a hurry. Good strong throw home, but the Cubs lead.
Outside on Ryan Sweeney, ball 1. Sweeney homered in the Cubs win on Wednesday against Miami. It's his 31st start with the Cubs, 2-0.
Just overthrown a little bit there, maybe out of frustration. First inning has not been a problem for him this year. He had allowed only 8 first inning runs coming into this start.
Pitch. Good take. 3-0. Johnny Murphy on deck. Johnny Hellweg, the Brewers minor league pitcher of the year. Jake Arrieta will match up tomorrow. Gallardo and Scott Baker will make his Chicago Cubs debut on Sunday right here on WGN. It's off to the road for 11. They're loaded. Sweeney walks. Here's Murphy with the game-winning homer on Wednesday.
Both pitching coaches paying a trip to the mound here in the first inning. Kranitz, pitching coach of the Brewers, out to have a chat with his veteran right-hander. A lot of head nodding, a lot of positivity going on out there. You're going to be all right. Get yourself a ground ball here.
We've talked about it before. Pitching coaches stay away from the negative when they make a trip to the mound. They never say, don't do this. You don't want to plant a seed in a guy's mind. If you say, don't hang a breaking ball, it's like the pink elephant, right?
Yeah.
You're going to think about it. A strike on Murphy, who actually was released by the Brewers near the end of spring training before he signed a minor league deal with the Cubs in early April. He signed with Milwaukee to a minor league contract back in mid-December. He talked to the Cubs at that time as well. Pops it up. It's Segura. Infield fly rule. Segura catches it anyway. That's a big second out for Loesch. Now Junior Lake. Lake made his big league debut in the second half opener in Colorado, went 3 for 4. Would pile up 14 hits in his first 6 major league games. He's at 255 since 38 games. So teams have adjusted. Now it's his turn to adjust again.
Yeah, and he's shown a little bit more patience. Like he has to be a guy who draws a lot of walks.
A high deep drive way back there. It's a granny. Junior Lake clears him.
Like I said, he doesn't have to show a whole lot of patience. First time he's done that in his career. 5th time he's gone deep in a Cub uniform. There's your run support, Chris Russin. That's picking up your teammate there. Murphy pops up with the bases loaded. Junior Lake, it's his way of saying, I got you. I got you, Donnie. Hanging breaking ball and a no-doubter. Whew, pretty swing.
5th of his career, first 4-run homer, and for the Cubs, their 3rd grand slam. $5-0 here in the first.
Loesch making his 3rd start against the Cubs this year, was really good in the first 2, but today they're on him.
Castillo for extra bases. That's a double. Going to bat around. It'll bring up the pitcher, Chris Russin.
Two-seam fastball out over the plate a little bit. And another good swing by a Cub hitter in the first. Loesch worked against the Cubs back on June 25th. 7 innings of 3-run ball and a 9-3 Brewer win. Then at the end of July pitched 6 shutout innings here. Got a no decision. A game the Brewers ultimately won 5-0.
We're not saying Junior Lake is going to have the same career Sammy Sosa had, but he does wear 21. Junior's first grand slam came in his 5th big league home run. It took Sammy 246 homers for his first granny. Loesch kind of angrily tosses the ball to his first baseman. They bat around in the first. The rookie Lake with a 2-out grand slam. It's 5-0 Cubs. AT's baseball blog at WGNTV.com, sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 34 years. To join the nation, contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. I have a post on the wild card and the so-called added drama this year, and JD has a post about some strange numbers. I'm intrigued. Nothing strange about Junior Lake. He's just been really good here early on in his major league career. 54 hits in his first grand slam.
And he's a dynamic athlete. He has speed, he has power. That stuff plays well to big leagues. Make enough solid contact, get on base enough, you got yourself a real good major league player.
Jeff Bianchi looks at a strike. Late swing. 0-2. Mark Sapelsa, huge baseball fan. I don't know if he's working tonight, but he's not right now. Just enjoying the ball game. WGN 9 o'clock anchor. There's a roller into left.
The Cubs have had, not to be the Debbie Downer here, but the Cubs have had some big leads to get away from them the last couple of weeks. There's a lot of baseball to play, so you got to do your due diligence. Keep having good at-bats. Don't walk people. Keep the ball in the ballpark. You should be able to win a game when you have a 5-0 lead early.
Interesting, Sammy Sosa. So his first grand slam was in '98. His 247th home run. His next one was the following day. So
get the hang of it.
For 248, and both were hit in Arizona. Love that shot. Reminder, we're in an urban area with the train headed by.
Yeah, just another neighborhood park in the big city. Only 81 Major League Baseball games are played in this neighborhood park.
One and one to Schaefer. Mentioned Chris Davis. He's got some left wrist soreness, so he was a late scratch. Looked like Bianchi wanted to run.
Well, Brewers run a lot. Segura, Gomez, the main guys. A little bit surprising to see Bianchi run here if he does, down 5. He's just trying to get everybody's attention, and he clearly has Russin's attention.
Garth Orge, the first base coach. Best surnames in baseball history. Orge, I-O-R-G. Like Schaefer was willing to be hit by that pitch, but it missed him anyway. You're supposed to try to get out of the way, and he really didn't. 2-2. Trying to get hit on the wallet.
Just a little late twist to the hips.
Little blooper into center, base hit. Bianchi's going to stop at second, and all of a sudden the Brewers threatening.
Always wary of the guy who's the late addition to the lineup. Seems like for whatever reason they have a big day. I'm guessing that's not true, but if you want to look it up and prove me wrong, go ahead. Breaking ball stayed up. Didn't blister it, but safely aboard. Loesch will be up there to sacrifice. If you're the Cubs, make sure you get an out.
Yeah, with a 5-0 lead, I know it's early, but you're right. Just get the out somewhere. Don't take any risks.
Don't get too aggressive here trying to nail a lead runner. Certainly if it's a real bad bunt, you've got a shot at him at third base, you take it. But priority here is get an out. Good bunter, he's a good hitter. You got to be careful if you're Rizzo. Anthony really defends this play very aggressively. He's got to be careful with a guy like Loesch who can handle the bat, and Russin, not an overpowering type pitcher. You come too hard from first base, he may pull the bat back and just try to slap it by you.
Two and one. Can't do it much better than that. It goes 5-4. Second and third, one out. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Here's Aoki. Second and third, one out. Boy, really good value. Aoki got a 2-year deal to come over from Japan. He made $1 million last year, 1.25 this year, and they've got a team option for just $1.5 million next year. Now he does play right field and he doesn't hit for much power, but when Braun's in the lineup, Carlos Gomez, you should get enough power from those two guys. Aoki gets on base. And he hits a high drive down the right field line, and it's out of play.
Yeah, that's a very club-friendly deal that he has. .354 on base percentage for Aoki, and that's his numbers combined last year and this. Occasional power, 10 bombs last year, plus 37 doubles. Steal a bag for you, good defender.
Played outside. It's 2-1. I read recently he had a quote something about, I'm just worried about my living arrangements for next year. You know, if they want me back, I'll be able to stay where I am now. Nori, I think the Brewers probably want you back. And if they don't, somebody else will, and they'll probably pay you more. Three and one.
And they've got a similar situation with Lucroy. They've got him signed to a very club-friendly deal as well. Middle infielder's back. Trade a run for an out on a ground ball to the middle. Corner guys can come home.
Left field, Lake makes a catch, tagging and heading toward the plate is Bianchi. The throw is going to be offline. It'll allow Schaefer to head to third. It's 5-1. They probably shouldn't have worried about the guy scoring, especially after the double clutch.
Right, after the reset. No chance they're going to get him at home. They're going to appeal second base, maybe. Barney was standing out there. No, he's just going to retreat to his position. But yeah, once he reset there and loaded up for that throw, no way they're going to get him. And a good heads-up play by Schaefer to advance.
Runner at third, so Russin back to the wind and a strike called. Segura didn't like Marvin Hudson's call. Melvin trading a rental player, Zach Greinke, to the Angels last year, and Segura, one of the guys who came back. Johnny Helwig, who will pitch tomorrow, another guy in that deal.
They're friendly.
Very friendly. Castro pick it up, and the inning is over. Brewers use a couple of singles to start the inning, turn that into a run. It's 5-1 Cubs. From home, Derek Lee turning 38 today. Get peace of mind with Xfinity Home, the total home security and home control solution. It keeps you more connected to what matters most. Derek is here and will participate tomorrow in the Larry A. Pagofsky Chicago All-Star Softball Challenge. Former Cubs against former White Sox, and one of those guys who actually pitched for both teams, although he'll be representing the Cubs tomorrow, is Scott Air, and he'll sing the 7th inning stretch. One of our all-time favorites, D. Lee. The pro's pro.
Hey, he just got a souvenir.
Got a ball. Darwin, would you sign it for me? That's awesome. Toward right and through for Castro.
Make it 10 out of 11 games in which he has hit safely.
Here is Barney.
Lowe's starting to get to that point, I'm sure, where he's wondering if this is ever going to turn around for him. Cubs bat around in the first, and he just gives up that 27 hopper base hit to start the second.
Castro runs, and Barney got a piece of it somehow.
That's
on a hit and run.
Hit and run play. Barney doing his level best to protect Castro. You can break the piñata with this one. Yeah. So if you see that swing without seeing this, you don't know what's going on, but a hit and run play. And at the end of the day, if he takes that pitch, Castro probably steals the bag, but his job, hit and run, is to swing the bat.
It's a better highlight if he swings at it. Pop down the right field line, and it will be handled by Bianchi in foul territory. Bring up Anthony Rizzo. Now, while we have a second, I want to send out our condolences to the family of Annette Curson, who passed away a few days ago. Thinking about Annette's children, Robert, Jane, and Ken, and the entire Curson family. Here's Rizzo. He singled in the first.
Anthony Rizzo, similar skill set to Derek Lee, and if he could have the career that Lee had, Cub fans would be thrilled.
Fouled off. Two new Cub fans arrived yesterday. Twins, Dylan, 7 pounds 4 ounces 20 inches, a boy, and Peyton, 6 pounds 3 ounces 19.5 inches. Baby girl, welcome into the world as Rizzo flies to Schaefer. 2 down. Parents Aaron and Heather Schramm and sister Addison are doing well, and Grandpa Keith beaming up here in the press box.
Yeah, I saw a picture of those twins. They're beautiful.
So their older sister is Addison Clark, and I guess Aaron wanted to go with Walter and Peyton for the twins.
But Mom drew the line.
Yeah, so Dylan and Peyton.
I wonder if he counted. Okay, if we're not going to do Walter, can we go Ernie?
It's a strike. Sherholtz. Gary Matthews Jr. hanging with Derek Lee as well. Pretty good list for this softball challenge tomorrow. Billy Williams will manage the Cubs. Minnie Minoso, the White Sox. Frank Thomas, Jermaine Dye, Carlos Lee, Ron Kittle, Ray Durham. Cubs will have Janie Moyer, Lee, Ayer, Bill Madlock, Cliff Floyd, Jock Jones, Lee Smith, and Lee will sing the stretch, I believe, Sunday. Fly ball out into deep left. On the warning track, it's Schaefer, and that's the inning. Leadoff single by Castro, no runs. The Cubs lead big early, 5-1 after 2. With Dale Swaim, log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner and connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and info while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. That is a Keith Moreland baseball card flipped out of the booth by my partner. And Marvin Hudson apparently didn't see it.
Did he not see that?
We're just going to leave it there.
Yeah.
That's how you check on the wind every day.
Yeah, it's picked up a little bit.
It's blowing out now, as you can see. Jonathan Lucroy up in the air, deep center. Sweeney still going back. He's got it on the track. Oh, I think Marvin saw it.
Marvin.
Here we go.
I promise not to do it again.
Not amused. Where do you think that Moreland card will end up?
Some lucky fan will get it down there. Look, it's Keith Moreland.
How did that end up on the field? Jordan saying.
And he's from heaven. Oh, it's in the dugout.
Danny Mueller, the bat boy. Young kids going, who's Keith Moreland?
He's the radio guy. I didn't know he played. Safekeeping. Tuck it away. Get Zonk to sign it later on.
He appreciated it. 2-1 the count on Ramirez. Driven to deep left, and it will get on out of here. The back of the bleachers, that's a familiar sight. Although Cup fans used to seeing him do it in the home pinstripes. Derek Lee's seen that a few times. He used to bat 3 and 4 in the Cubs order. 5-2.
Ramirez hits the fastball very well, but this is an off-speed pitch up in his eyes. He delivers a big-time blow. But fortunately for Chris Russin and the Cubs, nobody on base. It's just a solo shot. Absorb 1 or 2 of those, still win the ball game. Not a Hall of Famer, but a Hall of really good.
Hard hit grounder, backhanded by Castro.
Cup fans, be sure to celebrate Oktoberfest in the Budweiser bleachers during the last regular season night game of the year here at Wrigley. Tuesday, September 24th, when the Cubs battle the Pirates, is Oktoberfest celebration night. Purchase your special Budweiser bleacher tickets through the special events page to redeem an exclusive limited edition Cubs Stein pictured there. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com/special events. A handy keepsake.
Yeah, well, we could see some Cub fans in Wisconsin coming down for that. Oktoberfest is big. Milwaukee.
Yeah, Cincinnati too. Big in Cincinnati.
Russin's 1-0 to Halton. Lined into center for a base hit. So far, we've played not even 2.5 innings. It looks like it's going to be an offensive day. That can change. Hitters have had the advantage here early on both sides.
Yeah, this is one of those days you better keep scoring if you're the Cubs.
Bianchi 1 for 1 with a run. Strike called. Happy birthday to Jeff Dillman. Watching the game today on WGN. Fly to center. Sweeney back on this one. And he reaches out, makes a catch. I'm not sure he saw it, but he caught it. Boy, Ryan really battling the elements here today. Nicely done. 5-2. On Tuesday, September 23rd, fans, make sure you're part of the inaugural Zubaz Night in the Budweiser bleachers. Your Zubaz Night special event ticket includes a pair of official Zubaz pants in Chicago Cubs colors. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com/special events. The Cubs grounds crew wearing the Zubaz today. Man.
Well, I got to get some of those.
I'll tell you, to figure out a way to wear pajamas in public, I'm in.
No, I remember back in the day when I was playing, when Zubaz kind of burst onto the scene. I didn't know they were still around.
Ryan Sweeney against the shift to the opposite field, on for the second time. That's a leadoff single.
Well, high marks again to the Cub hitters. These left-handed hitters all going the other way on Kyle Loesch. Not that there's value in an off-field hit more so than there is one pulled, but it's just such a good approach against a guy who has such good command of his off-speed stuff. He's the type of pitcher too there's a tendency to get greedy because he's not a real hard thrower, and he gives up a lot of home runs. But that's when he's at his best. He attacks your weakness when you're trying to be overly aggressive.
Two 2-0 to Donnie Murphy.
And so there are 3 players in uniform here this weekend. Among the 9 in the National League with an on-base plus slugging of 1,000 or better in the month of August. Donnie Murphy, Scooter Gennett, and Chris Davis. 3 guys most fans probably never heard of prior to last month.
I voted for Gennett for Player of the Month in August. A base hit to left. Cubs have 2 on with nobody out. And they've got 8 hits already off Loesch. Let's take a look at the Cubs injury report, sponsored by Illinois Bone and Joint Institute. IBJI, helping you move better so you can live better. Visit IBJI.com. Scott Baker will make his Cub debut as a starter on the Sunday. One appearance in spring training. He's had starts and stops in terms of his rehab, coming back from Tommy John surgery, but it will culminate in a return to the big leagues in 2 days right here on WGN. Bunted to third. Ramirez will just eat it. And they're loaded. How about a grand slam followed by a bunt single?
Yeah, and I think, I think there's a certain part of the junior that's exactly what he has in mind after he goes deep. He said, well, I can do this and I can do that. Shows you the long ball, then drops down a beautiful bunt for a base hit. So the power, now the speed. I believe in Arizona, he hit that like 460-foot bomb and also had a bunt single in that game.
Yeah. I think he had 2 bunt singles with a home run in between. Something like that. Now Castillo, this is the 3rd time combined the bases have been loaded. And Castillo skies one foul to left. I think Derek Lee's sitting there going, I wish I were in the lineup today.
Yeah.
This is the kind of day you want to hit. Old foul.
Yeah, Castillo out in front of that off-speed pitch, but he's made a lot of mistakes up in the zone with his changeup and his breaking ball. Normally, Loesch lives down around the knees.
That's high. Kick the 1-2. It's low.
Trying to tease him with the changeup. Tempted, but able to hold off. There's not been a strikeout in this game. Either side.
That is not terribly surprising. Till now.
No. Sorry, my bad, Welly.
1 away. Here comes Russin. There is something to the idea of a broadcaster jinxing the moment. In this regard, it stood out to you that there hadn't been a strikeout, and we were due for one.
Yeah, well,
so you just happened to point it out before the inevitable.
Didn't see any red on my scorecard. No red K's on the card.
So it isn't as if you caused it to happen, but you just anticipated that it was likely to happen at some point. Russin takes a strike.
Action in the Brewer pen cannot let Loesch off the hook here.
That was a huge punch out with a pitcher now up and a base hit to center. Sweeney scores. Donnie Murphy is in. That's a big hit for Russin. 7-2.
Yeah, that's huge. If Loesch had gotten him, that would have put a world of pressure on Starlin Castro coming up with the bases loaded after 2 outs recorded. But Russin takes care of business. Ball well off the plate. Watch the reaction by Loesch. Hands up to the head. Can't believe it.
First career RBIs for Russin. Are putting a hurting on Loesch and his ERA, the former Cub draft pick. He had pitched well in this ballpark in his career prior to today, but it has not gone his way. 2-1 with a 3.48 lifetime at Wrigley. A bouncer to third. Ramirez will get the out at second. Relay to first. Double play. 5-4-3 to end the inning. But the pitcher Russin comes up with the big hit, knocking in 2 to make it 7-2.
At 3:05, come early. The first 4,000 children 13 and younger will receive limited edition American Girl doll-sized Cubs apparel. 8 lucky fans will win Sage. I'm guessing that's Sage there, the 2013 Girl of the Year, plus 1 lucky winner will receive the grand prize, a day at American Girl Place. Wow, that's a good deal. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. So there's Paige.
Got 8 lucky fans.
Got the outfit in here. Everybody gets the outfit that she's wearing. Sage. See?
Right.
Got a little shirt there. Shorts. And then everybody gets that. Some people will win Sage. And see, you've got a boy. I had all girls, so this American Girl stuff been around our house for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
That doll's got good heft. It's a good hefty doll there. You know, we got this.
Better to say that about a doll than an
Sandlot
actual
Slugger that we got earlier this year. You know, maybe we can get them together. You know, maybe they could hang a little bit. Who knows? A little chemistry.
1-2 the count on Logan Schaefer. Cubs leading 7-2. All over grounder.
What's he looking back at?
Schaefer was.
Wow, he's looking
Well, he's
looking
not
back
happy.
the whole time down the baseline. I don't know if he asked for time.
I think that's what he's upset about. Saying 4 times I asked you for time.
And Marvin said, I didn't hear him.
Ever seen a guy yelling at the home plate umpire running down the line?
No, I half expected him to start moonwalking. But just stumbles, knocks the helmet out of the way. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it.
Loesch will take the at bat as he fouls off.
Yeah, well, you know, with a younger guy, you might get him out of there, just try to minimize the damage. But maybe Ron Reineke's thinking, I got to save some bullets, save my bullpen to fight another day, and he trusts the veteran Loesch to hang in there. Here we go. Now we're talking.
Sandlot slugger.
Meet Sage.
Meet Sage.
We promised they're meeting. We're going to show you a pitch first, just in case something good happens. There they are. Yeah, like we're mature up here.
I like the
we
look
got
on
dolls,
his face.
We got toys.
Hey.
We got him earlier this year. Some good folks sent us a Sandlot slugger back in April or May after we played the Braves, when we saw Evan Gaddis for the first time. And he reminded us so much of Sandlot slugger, and we'll have to break that out when the Braves come here next homestand.
There it is.
Let's put Sage. She can watch the game. Put her up here. Live it on the edge, baby. Yeah, that's probably not good.
Not good. 2 outs.
A little decorum, please, Sage. My goodness. Sit like a lady. Watch the game. Pay attention. Watch a ball game. Yeah.
Sandlot slugger's doing a little Miley Cyrus action, it looks like.
Anybody have any Tinker toys?
One strike on Aoki. Make it 2.
Got a new stretch singer. All right. Let me hear ya.
Base hit into center. Nobody wants to work a 1-2-3 inning. Bring up Segura, ready for the 3rd time. Check on the runner. Cubs with a 5 spot in the 1st. They got 2 more in the 3rd. The Brewers with single markers in the 2nd and 3rd.
Talked earlier about the, managing the running game. Down 5 runs, typically you're not looking to steal bases. You're looking for a big inning. But with 2 outs, you might think about stealing a bag, trying to just pick up a run here as you move through the middle innings of the ball game. Normally when you're down a lot, you're not taking risks on the bases. You're looking for a big explosive inning to get back in the ball game.
Oh, 2.
Preservation of outs key for the Brewers now as they try to get back in this one. Aoki has stolen 17 bases this year. He's been caught 11 times, however.
Even with a 7-2 lead, Dale decides to get Carlos Villanueva up. Pitch number 81 already for Russin. 1-2.
Chris, you're just going batter by batter, out by out. But, as a starting pitcher in the back of your mind, you're thinking, and I had a 5-0 lead in the 1st. Got to go 5 innings to qualify for the win. You hate to be removed from the game before you get through 5.
2-2. Well, with the expanded September rosters, it does give a manager more of a reason to get somebody up, because you've got a ton of guys down there in the bullpen who can get you through a game. Yeah, you want to give your starter every chance to get through 5, but your first priority is to win the game. Throw to first.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12 arms available in the Cub bullpen today.
Daniel Bard is on the roster, but we won't see him for a while, if at all. Dale said he wasn't quite sure if we'll see Bard in action. Several months of issues after an abdominal injury in the middle of the season when he was in the minors with Boston. Through a side session today. There it is. Foul. He chased off the top step.
Edwin Jackson reappearing. Yeah.
Foul. It hits Segura's foot.
They were working him up in the zone earlier last at bat. Off speed stuff down here. Maybe they'll try to slip a fastball by him up, change the eye level a little bit.
Another 2-2 and another base hit.
Stayed down this time with a fastball, and Segura, who has been a hit machine this year, delivers a solid line drive single. Now you get into the middle of the order, you start to face some power with a couple of guys on base, and that can really change the nature of this ball game. Castillo out to talk. Dale one leg up. I think he's going to make a pitching change here.
Lucroy, the batter. And here comes the manager. So we'll have a pitching change with the Cubs leading 7-2 in the fourth. A reminder, microphone not included. Villanueva, who's bounced back and forth in the rotation to the pen. You know, he can give you a few innings here, and he'll try to get out of this fourth with Jonathan Lucroy coming up. And runners at first and second, 2 outs.
Picked up wins in 2 of his last 3 outings, including the 9-7 win over Miami on Wednesday. He allowed a run in that inning. To me, this is a move of you're just contemplating the worst case scenario, and that would be a Jonathan Lucroy home run here. And I think Dale just felt like that was more likely to happen with a struggling lefty on the mound than the veteran right-hander.
Here's the pitch. It's a strike. One and one. A 142 pitches total have been thrown in this game, and we're in the top of the fourth. Feels like a lot. Runners go, and no throw. So Aoki and Segura both get steals for Segura, his league leading 40th on the back end.
Lucroy 313 with runners in scoring position last year, hit 389 in such situations.
Funny they get stolen bases here, but if this happened in the 8th inning or 9th inning, it would be offensive indifference. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Waiver for the most part just trying to stay away from Lucroy here.
Call strike 3. Lucroy knew it. Villanueva gets out of the 4th. It is 7-2 Cubs.
Guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
Darwin Barney takes a strike. It's possible Kyle Loesch could outlast Chris Russin, even though it's 7-2 Cubs. He's given up 10 hits and 7 earned runs through 3. Hard hit grounder right to Ramirez. One away, and it'll bring up Anthony Rizzo. 1 for 2.
Chris Rustin today, 3 2/3, 7 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. Walked a couple, struck out 1. Delivered probably the key hit of the game, though, a 2-run single with the bases loaded last inning. Key hit to this point, anyway.
3 balls driven the other way by Rizzo, 2 for hits, and this will be a double.
I guess it's hard to make the case that Rustin delivered the key hit when Junior Lake hit a grand slam, but it was an awfully big base hit. That was an opportunity the Cubs cannot afford to let go by. And now they're at it again. Another very good swing by Anthony Rizzo. His off-field approach serving the Cub hitters so well here today.
35 doubles for the Cubs first baseman. Now Scherholtz. RBI single and a run, and fly to the warning track and left his last time up. Fair ball behind first. Halton fields and touches the base. Rizzo now at third with 2 gone. Well, the Cubs will not make the postseason, but 3 of their affiliates have, including AA Tennessee. Only come up with 4 hits in game 1 of their best of 5 North Division series. Losing 3-1 at Birmingham. They'll have Dae-Un Ri on the mound tonight. Kyle Hendricks won the ERA title in the Southern League with a 185. And how about Daytona's pitching staff? They shut out Charlotte in game 1 of the Florida State League Championship Series. That's a best of 5. Pierce Johnson, 5 shutout innings. Corey Black, C.J. Edwards, Pierce Johnson have thrown 15 shutout innings. Those are the starters so far this postseason. The Cubs went into that game 0-6 against Charlotte this season, but they're up 1-0 in that series. Two and 1 on Sweeney. The Boise Hawks will host the Vancouver Canadians in the Northwest League Championship Series starting tonight. So game 1 is in Boise, game 2 in Vancouver, game 3 if necessary in Vancouver. And an interesting note, 5 members of the Hawks will only be able to play in game 1 and will not be able to travel for game 2 and or 3 because of visa and passport issues. A couple of relievers, a shortstop, and 2 outfielders. Called strike 3 to get Loesch out of the inning. He trails 7-2 after 4.
Brought to you by Bud Light Music First. It's the sound of history being made. Here we go.
All Cubs to this point, leading 7-2. Called strike on Aramis Ramirez. 2 out of 2 with a home run. His 10th. Taken high for a ball, 1-1. We alluded to Ryan Braun's suspension, final 65 games. Due to violating baseball's basic agreement and its joint drug prevention and treatment program. And a couple of interesting updates on Braun. Since we last saw the Brewers, he publicly apologized and admitted to taking a cream and a lozenge as he was recovering from injury in 2011 when he won the MVP. Well, did you see he's personally calling Brewers ticket holders to apologize for using PEDs? I guess it was his idea. 2-2, that's low.
Yeah, well, he's working to try to rehab his image.
He is losing endorsement deals left and right. A restaurant group in Wisconsin has ended its licensing deal with him. That's the latest one. As Ramirez strikes out. 2 batters, 2 punch outs for Villanueva. Let's check out the Cubs Ford upcoming schedule. Late afternoon start tomorrow. We're back on WGN. A 121st pitch leadoff man at 1 on Sunday, and then the longest trip of the year, and the longest I can remember, 3 cities, but 11 days and 11 games. We start in Cincinnati, then to Pittsburgh, and finish in Milwaukee. Ford go further in any one of Ford's many fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. Gomez looks at a fastball up.
Every year when the schedule comes out, you look at the way things lay out, and you can always find fault. But the one thing I do like is the heavy emphasis on divisional play late in the season. It makes for some very exciting baseball for those teams that are in a playoff chase.
We'll have interleague play right up until the final day because of the new alignment with 15 teams in each league. Yeah, the final 4 road series for the Cubs, they'll hit all 4 division opponents, finishing up in St. Louis.
St. Louis hosting Pittsburgh tonight. The Cardinals are in a stretch where they're nothing but Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Here's a look at the Cubs schedule the rest of the way within the division.
That's the whole schedule except for 3 against the Atlanta Braves in the final homestand. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Vicious cut by Gomez.
Bill Swaim talked about it early in the year. Carlos Villanueva has the ability to execute a game plan. Look where the mid is. Look where the pitch is. Needs a high fastball. He can deliver a high fastball. A certain hitter needs to see a lot of breaking balls out of the zone. He's capable. Stuff, he's not overpowering. But he knows how to pitch.
Blown away to Halton, who's 1 out of 2. Mentioned the Pirates and Cardinals tonight. A win for Pittsburgh, and that guarantees a winning season for the first time since '92. ending the curse of Sid Bream. Popped him up, shallow center. Sweeney coming in. Villanueva has really settled things down. A 1-2-3 fifth with a 5-run lead.
Season dwindling to a close here, but still time to come out and enjoy baseball at beautiful Wrigley Field. Tickets available for tomorrow and Sunday against the Brewers, including in the Budweiser bleachers. As always, Cubs.com, a great place to go to get your ducats.
Swinging strike on Donnie Murphy. Ground ball to third.
Great
throw, but Halton able to
tripped over the bag. Kind of funky over there at first base.
Throw tailed a little bit.
Was he on the bag when he caught that ball?
Not so sure.
All right, Junior, what do you got in store for us now? Grand Slam bunt single so far.
It is our Mazda drive to victory. The grand slam in the first inning made it 5-0. Drive to victory brought to you by your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Mazda dealers. Oh, and 2. Kind of interesting last night. And by the way, Peyton Manning just threw another touchdown pass. A baseball-like weather delay before the first NFL game of the season.
Often.
Rain won't stop it, but they had a lot of lightning in downtown Denver, so they got off to a late start. Called strike 3 to get Lake.
Junior thought that ball was either down or out. It looked like a pretty good pitch. Small measure of revenge for Loesch over Junior Lake. A couple of breaking balls and then a fastball. Certainly on the plate. Borderline in terms of whether it was high enough.
Castillo takes a curve for a strike. We might see a Cub debut today. Right-hander Justin Grimm came over from Texas, and the Matt Garza deal is up. A rainbow out in the left center. Gomez the catch. That's the inning. Low settling in, but it may be a little bit too late. 7-2 Cubs. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers as reliable as the cars themselves. Strange how it's worked out with the starters. Chris Russin left with a 5-run lead, will not be able to get the win, and the guy who's given up 7 runs is still in the game. Junior Lake, his first career grand slam. A big blow so far.
Carlos Villanueva came in and got a huge strikeout of Jonathan LaCroix with 2 runners in scoring position in the 4th, and pitched a clean 1-2-3 5th with a couple of punch outs.
The chance to get the win for Carlos, facing Jeff Bianchi, Logan Schaefer, and then the pitcher's spot. Probably a pinch hitter. Comes, it's low and outside. 1-1 the count. The left-hander Zach Rosscup has joined Grimm. A fly to right. Sherholtz circling, and he's got it. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Here's Schaefer. Juan Francisco's now on deck for Loesch. Francisco, that's fun to say.
He's fun to watch hit too. One of those all or nothing type guys.
He is.
You might say it's a Juan Francisco treat. but I wouldn't.
Well, I already got in trouble for the Ben Francisco tweet. Talking about Twitter.
Oh, I like that one even better. That's better.
But I like where you're going.
Schaefer had a fun AB last time. Rounded out to second while running down the line, barking back at Marvin Hudson, home plate umpire. Apparently he'd been asking for time on numerous occasions. Hudson never heard him.
Called strike 3.
I think his opinion of Marvin has changed a whole lot. Borderline high, but on the plate.
So if the pinch hitter coming up makes the third out, there's a decent chance this game will continue sans Francisco.
Oh.
Top that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Outside, ball 1. One of those 3 veterans used to playing the left side of the infield who had to play a lot of first base this year. See, it has been a lot of all or nothing. Low average, 18 home runs. Got him from Atlanta on June 3rd. Started in a platoon, right, with Chris Johnson.
And Johnson's been leading the world in hitting, or had been for much of the year. Francisco became expendable. Willie Mo Pena-esque, his approach at the plate. That's just going to strike everybody out.
Villanueva. With 5 strikeouts, he's faced 7 batters. 7-2 Cubs. Replay, former Cub great Derek Lee at the ballpark getting a souvenir baseball and asking Darwin Barney, who was on deck at the time, for his autograph. Find out what's possible with products and services from AT&T. Rethink possible.
Good day to kick up your feet, soak up some rays, enjoy some hardball.
And a major league debut, Jimmy Nelson.
Butterflies, no doubt, for Nelson as he takes a big league mound for the very first time.
product of Alabama. I imagine he's a very pleasant fellow. He's from Niceville, Florida.
5 and 6 with a 367 at AAA Nashville. Seems like a pleasant enough guy. Worked in the Southern League All-Star game, or was selected to anyway, and also the All-Stars Future game.
24 years old, 6'5", 243 in his first major league pitch, 94, but inside on pinch hitter Logan Watkins. We'll see a Cub debut in the 7th. Justin Grimm. Bouncer to Bianchi, the second baseman. 1 out.
If Cubs hang on and win this one, Carlos Villanueva will pick up his 3rd win in just the last little while. For the longest time, he was stuck on 2 W's, and he certainly earned it today. Sometimes these guys come in and when the starter cannot pitch enough innings to qualify, and they kind of become the winner by default. Well, not so today. Carlos was really, really good.
Here's Castro. Lined to Aoki. 2 quick outs. Bring up Darwin Barney.
If you see Aoki moving in the outfield, it's usually in or across, rarely back, because he plays as deep a right field as anybody I've ever seen. Just have to assume watching him play that he's not really comfortable going back on the ball. And probably a little bit quicker than many right fielders, so can afford to play a little deeper. Scouting report on Nelson. Mid-90s fastball, hard slider, suspect changeup.
One and one to Barney. Cubs 1-2 of 3 against the Phillies last weekend and dropped a series to Miami. 3-3 on the homestand. Bianchi out, and he makes the catch. Nicely done. Former Cub Scott Air will join us in the 7th. 7-2. It's the Ocean Blue with Cerulean. Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Justin Grimm will make his Cub debut, 7-2, facing the top of the Milwaukee order. Great to have one of our buds back here at Wrigley Field. Scott Air, the left-hander, 13-year big league career, and with the Cubs during really the heyday. And man, time flies, doesn't it, Scott?
It does. It's already my 4th year not playing, and we were just talking about it with Adam Greenberg over in the suite over there, and he was having trouble trying to believe it had only been 1 year we played together. Right. We didn't even play together, just spring training in 06 with him.
Well, how are things in
Good.
retirement? We hear from you. I know you watch a lot.
Oh, I send you the random text here and there, which is always fun. No, I'm doing good. I'm coaching high school ball with a former left-handed reliever, Scott Sauerbeck, and I just started a program. Well, not started. I'm helping a friend out named Joel Hartman, and I'm coaching 13-year-olds this year. He's doing the 11-year-olds. Sauerbeck's doing the 12-year-olds. It's a whole program called Beach Dogs Baseball in Bradenton.
Oh, that's great.
So it's fun.
Aoki grounds out. So do you have mornings you wake up and the shoulder's barking, the elbow hurts,
my shoulder feels great. It's this elbow that doesn't straighten out the whole thing.
Get those zippers going on in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're pretty scars.
Yeah, that's nice.
I got a final scar, couple scars after the 09 season in Philadelphia. Sakati up there cut it open and took out 11 chips and 2 spurs, and then asked me how I was still pitching with that, and I said, "Good drugs, sir. Good drugs."
617 appearances. All but 32 as a starter, and yeah, you came up as a starter.
Yeah, on the other side of town.
Made your name as a big time 7th and 8th inning guy, along with Bob Howery here on the north side.
Good times.
There's the 1-0 from Grimm. That's low.
I wish 07 would have been a little different, but 3 and out's not fun.
No, but that 08 season was pretty special. Obviously 07, the first of the back-to-back division championship teams. That one fouled back by Segura.
Looks a lot different from up here, by the way.
Does it look a little easier and a little?
It's way easier when you don't have to put the uniform on. I tell the high school kids that all the time. I'm going to tell you guys to throw strikes and do this and do that, and I know that it's not as easy as I'm saying it is. So,
but do it anyway.
Exactly. Don't walk anybody. What's wrong with you?
Here's Grimm with the 2-1 offering. And it's a little low. Lots of fun stuff from Scott Air. Let's see. The glove, you had the Stevie Iyer glove.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. He called me Stevie, and I did never say anything about it. Just went with it. I think I told BB, actually, Brentley first, and I showed you, and I came in that first game. The glove came in, and I stood like this on the mound so that everybody could read it on TV.
Oh, yeah, we showed it.
The only thing is I had to pitch good, making fun of myself. So I think I pitched good that first
So you
day.
Ordered a glove with Stevie on
Stevie
it.
Iyer.
Because Louis used to call you Stevie all the time.
Iyer. He called right to my face, too, which was even better. But, I don't know if he knew half the players' names. He just said everybody was son, and everybody, you played hard for him. He loved you. And my only deal was I didn't pitch very well when he first got here, so I kind of got in that doghouse. Couldn't seem to dig my way out.
Well, the thing with Lou, he had issues with everybody, but then he loved everybody.
Yeah, he does. And he told me some nice things about me when I got traded and I left. Some of that may just be talking to you, or some of it may be saying real stuff, but I believed him when he said it.
Well, you took the ball every day. I mean,
and I told him, I wanted to pitch every day. I enjoyed it. The more you pitch as a reliever, the more you feel like you're in the game. Part of a team. I think you sit down there and pitch once every 6 days. You almost feel like you're just an outcast, and I enjoy it. I got used to pitching a lot in San Francisco when I was there before I came to Chicago. And my first year in Chicago, I think I pitched in 70-something, close to 70-something, maybe 80. I don't remember.
74 games.
Okay.
Yep.
And that was in a season where we were 66 and 96. That was a forgettable one. But, I enjoyed pitching. It's, if you're not going to be an everyday player out there, take every advantage you can to be in the big leagues and play. And pitching every day, whether it be a batter, popped him up.
Behind the plate, and Castillo has room, and he makes a catch. And
Tough
guess
one.
what, Scott? It's time to sing.
Oh, man,
here we go.
Go get him.
So I need these on?
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, former Cub Scott Air.
Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for the. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's go, Cubbies!
Lamb. Cubs haven't looked back since that 5-run first. Well, what a play by Wellington Castillo. Great catch and foul ground right up near the net to get Ramirez.
Good Cub debut for Justin Grimm. Scoreless inning.
And nice to catch up with Scott Air. And again, he will be participating along with Derek Lee and a lot of former Cubs, former White Sox, the Larry A. Pogofsky Chicago All-Star Softball Challenge. Go to LAPallstarchallenge.com to purchase tickets. And that will be tomorrow afternoon at Schaumburg Boomers Stadium. Billy Williams will manage the Cubs. Minnie Minoso will manage the White Sox. Slider misses a little high. It's 2-1 to Rizzo.
After 3 at-bats and very good at-bats against the finesse stylings of Kyle Loesch, now he's up against the power arm here. A little different game. See if he can get the head out in one of these fastballs.
Pulls a ground ball to the Yankees in shallow right. Makes the play. Hard throwing Pedro Strop gets a ball from Lester Strode. Strode and Strop in the bullpen.
As he readies, we have to assume 1 and done for Grimm this afternoon.
Successful Cub debut. Oh, and 1 to Scherholz. Lined and caught by Bianchi. 2 down.
Are you looking for a new way to conduct business and entertain in today's business climate? Consider becoming a PNC Club of Chicago member for the 2014 season. The Premier Team is inviting interested parties to come out on a game day, experience the club's luxurious atmosphere and amenities that include all-you-can-eat food, top-shelf drinks, and free parking. Call and make an appointment today. For more information, visit Cubs.com/premier.
Sweeney has scored twice. 2-0. Scott Air had a stretch. 0-3 for the Giants. 74 appearances. Actually 0-2, 70, and 74, 83, 86, 74. So you can see why he had multiple chips removed from his elbow. He wasn't just a specialist either. He usually about an inning per appearance. Lined and caught by Aoki. We go to the 8th. Cubs 7, Brewers 2. Lead. Great job by the bullpen. After Chris Russin had to use a ton of pitches to get through 3 2/3. Villanueva 2 1/3. No runs. Grimm faced 4 batters, retired 3 of them, walked 1, and now it's Pedro Strop.
Pedro 2-1 with a 2.10, 27 appearances for the Cubs. He's given up runs in just 2 of those 27 outings. He pitched a scoreless 8th inning on Wednesday against the Fish.
He faces Carlos Gomez to start it here in the 8th. High for ball 1. We don't know the future of Kevin Gregg, but if he is not back with the Cubs next year, pretty good chance it'll be Pedro Strop. They get the first shot at being the Cubs closer. And along those lines, a great piece in the New York Times, and we are tweeting a link to it from our @LennonJD account by Tyler Kepner, and I encourage you to check it out. Talking about closers, and the headline is "There's Rivera and there's everyone else." And there's some great quotes from a Hall of Famer, Dennis Eckersley, talking about having a proven closer. Big swing, 2-2. Quote, "I don't want to take away anything from what I did," said Eckersley, "but it's not as tough as you think." Kepner goes through a lot of the big contracts teams have handed out to would-be closers or guys who have done it in the past, and they've had struggles with their performance and or injury. And then he also points out guys who have jumped into that role after having success in the 7th and the 8th and have done well.
Yeah,
and I think Eckersley agrees.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I've been kind of beating that drum for a while. I just think that, and I don't want to, again, like Eckersley, I don't want to diminish what anybody has achieved in this game, but the way the modern bullpen works, the closer's job, other than being the last line of defense, sometimes easier than the guy that comes in with a couple men on in the 7th, or maybe has to work through the tougher part of the lineup in the 8th. So I think it's on an individual team-by-team basis, depending on how guys are used. And it's so hard to predict from one year to the next bullpen success, late relief success. Guys get on a roll, they feel good about things, they can sustain it through 4 or 5 months, but the next year they might implode. This Brewer club, a great example of that, with the rise and fall of Axford, and then K-Rod.
Right, Jim Henderson.
Yeah, and who's the other guy? Turnbow. Derek Turnbow, right. Another guy who kind of appeared out of nowhere throwing 100 miles an hour, and that was relatively short-lived.
Koji Uehara is also quoted, "I think it's just that the opinion toward the setup guys is not high enough. There's a pretty good group of guys that can pitch in the setup roles." You do have a lot of baseball people, though, who say, and there might be some guys who fit this, they can pitch in the 7th or the 8th, but they struggle getting the final 3 outs. And there are some examples of that. But I think by and large, that's a myth. And in fact, Eckersley, I got to find the quote, talking about pitching with nobody on base versus, okay. He said, think about it. The tougher job is to come in with guys on base. He's got to be quicker to the plate. He has to hold runners on. And bullpens now, they never really piece together many innings. It's clean innings, so you have 3 or 4 closers. Take your choice. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you, Dennis.
Yeah. And good for him, for kind of making that point.
This is going to be an infield hit for Sean Halton, his 2nd hit of the day.
But the point about not everybody has the mettle to pitch the 9th. There's probably some truth to that. But I'm guessing that guy probably doesn't have the mettle to pitch the 8th either, or the 7th with a man on second, and he represents the tying run. And given a chance, the guy who struggles when he's first put in that 9th inning role might ultimately do just fine. And we're seeing a great example of that in Pittsburgh right now with Mark Melanson, who struggled when asked to be the closer for the Red Sox in a fairly short sample last year. He ended up back in AAA, and he's been just fine stepping in for Jason Grilli in Pittsburgh.
Yep. Castillo will head out. So I guess the point of the story as it pertains to the Cubs is that projecting Strop as a possible closer next year, I think, is totally appropriate. Even though he hasn't done it a lot at this level.
I mean, look at the story of Kevin Gregg this year, a guy who, failed to make that Dodger club, came over here and has done a wonderful job as the closer.
Previous experience in the role, although he's had better success this year, certainly than the first time around with the Cubs. Well, I think it's a lot like field goal kickers. You have good stretches and bad stretches, and when you have bad ones that last a little longer than normal, you get labeled as a guy who can't do it anymore. And it's probably just not true.
Can you mentally get over the hurdle? And sometimes that's when the whole change of scenery benefits a player.
Two and 0. Base hit, right field.
And a lot of it too is just the way that role has changed over the years. Back when Goose Gossage and that group were doing it, they would pitch a couple innings at a time, 3 innings at a time. I looked at his game by game. One year he came in, he looked like 6 innings in relief. The game isn't managed that way anymore because managers want as many arms available on a day-by-day basis. So I guess that's where you could draw a line. Could that guy also be a guy who could give you 3 shutdown innings? And my guess is a guy like Eckersley, if used in that role, he would have been really, really good there as well.
High for a ball on Schaefer. Scooter Gennett is on deck in a pinch hitting role for Nelson. Jimmy Nelson, what a major league debut. Faced 6, retired all of them. The Rockies last year tried the 4-man 75 pitch rotation for a while. You've had teams toy with the closer by committee, bringing your best pitcher in the biggest spot, whether it's the 7th, 8th, or 9th. The Red Sox tried it a few years ago, briefly at the beginning of a season. The 3-0 is a strike. But I think the main reason why, especially as it pertains to pitching, that teams are reluctant and ultimately fail to do something totally out of the box, JD, is because pitchers today throughout the game are trained in a certain way. And right. if you decided as an organization, the 3-1, to say we've got 3 or 4 guys we view as closer types, but if that guy's dealing that day, we're going to bring him back out in the 9th if he pitches the 8th and is dealing. So you give him 2 innings and you give him a day off, and then the next guy has the next day. But that's not how these guys are trained. James Russell can go 2, but he doesn't do it but once or twice a year.
Yeah, you'd almost have to start it down in your lower levels of the minor leagues and kind of get guys to buy in.
Called strike 3. Good comeback by Strop. I think that's the main reason why it's hard to think about a 4-man rotation and to change how you use your bullpen.
Baseball players, the industry as a whole, players in particular, are very wary of change. You try to introduce something and immediately throughout a clubhouse it's going to be, what are you doing here? Why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? You saw it in Houston. We've seen other examples of it with the shifting where pitchers go, wait a minute, why all of a sudden is our shortstop playing up the middle? Why, so there's always resistance to change. And you have to be out in front of it. You have to have meetings. You have to talk to guys. You have to prove it to the players. Here's what we're doing. Here's why. And this is how it's going to benefit you and the organization.
Swing by the pinch hitter, Gennett.
Well, and frankly, it's easier to manage the bullpen now when there are these defined roles as opposed to, well, should I get him out? Should I go to my closer? Now it's every club. It's here's my 7th inning guy. Here's my 8th inning guy. Here's my 9th inning guy. And it kind of takes the manager, okay, there's an area that I don't have to deal with. I got everything else going on in my world. This is how I'm going to manage the game late.
Blake Parker is up just in case. That's trouble. Deep to right. Sherholt's back on it, and it's in and out of the basket for a 3-run homer. And all of a sudden, the Brewers are back in this game. The red-hot Scooter Gennett off the bench with a line drive, pinch hit, 3-run blast.
This guy is unbelievable. Number 1 in the National League in on-base plus slugging in the month of August. The guy many of you have never heard of, Scooter Gennett, continues to swing a red-hot bat for the Brewers, and this club is not going to go down without a fight.
A rare misstep as a Cub for Pedro Strop. He had allowed 6 runs total in his first 27 appearances as a Cub. He just gave up 3 on that swing. Now Aoki, ball 1.
Yeah, and 5 of those 6 came in 1 outing.
one missed badly, maybe overthrowing after giving up the home run. It's 2-0.
Scooter Gennett, my goodness. Mr. Strode going over some scouting reports with Parker as he continues to get ready in the Cubs pen. Dale's got a new middle name. Am I ever going to have an easy game?
In the air. And that will get Strop out of the inning. The other 5-run performance was against Milwaukee as well. It's been a struggle for Pedro against them. Off the bench with a 3-run blast. So the Cubs here will try to tack on. They face former Cardinal Michael Blazek over in the John Axford deal.
No wins, no losses, 6.35 the ERA. It's in 12 appearances.
Wine in the pitch to Donnie Murphy, low and outside. Blazek was acquired from St. Louis on Sunday to complete the August 30th John Axford trade to the Cardinals.
One and two with a 197 in 36 appearances between AA and AAA for the Cardinals. Kevin Gregg gets ready.
Murphy floats it into center and it'll drop down for his second knock of the day. Blake started the day at 294. Now back up in the 300s.
Mm. 94 with a little sink.
One and one to Lake.
LaCroix has thrown out 22 would-be base stealers. That's below league average.
22 total or 22%?
22%.
22%. Yes. Who wants it? Aoki. What is league average? 30?
29, 30, around there. The 67 steals, 19 caught with LaCroix behind the plate. And of course, that's, not all on him. It's the pitchers and how quick they are to home plate, how well they hold runners. And as I mentioned earlier, he scores very high points defensively in terms of receiving, calling the game, framing pitches.
Curveball didn't curve much. Fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner goes inside. Castillo got out of the way as Murphy steals second.
A chance for a little insurance now. Fastball well in off the plate. Tough pitch for LaCroix to handle. He has to reach and then reset to make that throw to second base.
More chances for the Cubs, and one of those hits was a home run with the bases loaded. In the hole, Segura backhands, high throw, Castillo safe, and a good piece of base running by Murphy as he took off for third once that ball was in the air. That's a base hit.
And you see Murphy freezes, reads the play. Segura doesn't have time to really look him back. So once that throw is on its way to first, he takes off for third. And because Castillo reaches safely, now he's at third base with just 1 out. Getting more than he even bargained for.
Bogusevic to bat for Strop. First and third with one out. Cubs leading by 2 and a called strike in her third. Blazek, a 35th rounder out of Las Vegas, Nevada, taken by the Cardinals in 07. A little late. 1-2. It's funny, we saw Jimmy Nelson going in the mid-90s. Blazek comes in doing the same. We saw Strop, 95. Those guys really used to stand out.
Yeah, now it's...
They don't anymore. I mean, they're effective. They get people out, but every bullpen has guys like that. On a hop, Segura is going to fire to the plate, and he airmails it. Both runners will advance second and third now. Murphy scores. I thought Segura was going to try for 2. He decided to throw to the dish. Threw it way over Lucroy's head, and it's 8-5 Cubs.
This little soft flare out there to Segura, and an accurate throw, and they get their man, but anything but accurate.
Fielder's choice and an error on Segura. No RBI for Bogusevic, but the Cubs get a key insurance run. They now lead by 3 and still only 1 out. And the infield is in. Castro hits one hard on the ground foul.
Yeah, and I think, you talk about the big arms coming out of the bullpens, and yeah, we see it day after day. 94 followed by 96 and then 98. And the Cubs have not really had that in their bullpen, and that's why they made the deal for Strop, and that's why Bard, if healthy, he's got that kind of an arm.
Segura will get the out at first with the runners holding. 2 down, no question. Trying to pile up as many hard throwers as they can in their bullpen. Barney with 2 outs. There's Alfredo Figueroa up for Milwaukee. In for a ball on Barney. Gets away. Castillo's going to hold.
So if you're Kevin Gregg down there in the Cubs bullpen, in your heart of hearts, what do you want to see happen here?
I know where you're going.
Base hit, 2 score, save opportunity's gone. He's probably not in the game. 3rd out is recorded. He's got a 3-run lead to get 3 outs to pick up another save.
I will not speak for him, but I would say, well, I'm sure a lot of guys would want the save chance. Maybe they'll rewrite the rule and say from the time the reliever started to warm up. Hopped him up on the infield. This is Ramirez, and that's the inning. The Cubs, however, get a run on that wild throw by Segura. We go to the ninth. Cubs lead by 3. Brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. From shutouts to walk-offs, we've been celebrating the greatest moments in Major League Baseball for over 30 years. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer or go to shophonda.com for current offers. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with products and services from AT&T. Rethink possible. Kevin Gregg with a save chance, leading 8-5, and he starts Gene Segura with a strike.
Pretty much channeled that one right down the middle with a 3-run cushion. He walked a couple on Wednesday. He picked up his 29th save in that game, but pitched around 2 walks, so he's starting with a more aggressive tone here.
32 saves with Florida in 07, 37 saves in 2010 with the Blue Jays. Trying to notch a 30-save season for the 3rd time with 3 different clubs.
Fourth appearance on the homestand for him. Suffered a loss against the Phils. Then recorded a save, and then the save Wednesday against Miami.
Emergency swing by Segura just to give himself another pitch. Tough part of the order here. Segura, Lucroy, Ramirez, Gomez waiting in the wings as well. Off the end of the bat, Barney out to make the grab.
A little blooper like that. As a pitcher, you see the ball off the bat and you immediately think, oh no, and then you turn around and you see Barney in pursuit and you start to feel better about things. Kevin Gregg started the season 12 for 12 in save situations. Didn't suffer his first blown save till the end of June.
Ball one.
Ooh. A shade low, perhaps.
You know how in some little leagues, maybe even Pony League, the umpire would actually be behind the mound.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be something worth considering at some point. Because you could probably argue that there's a better angle on balls and strikes from behind the mound. Just wouldn't want to be in the batter's eye. Sweeney makes the catch, 2 down.
Yeah, that would be the challenge.
Let's look at our Budweiser play of the game. The grand slam by Junior Lake in the first inning. That made it 5-0.
A little cement mixer hanging slider from Kyle Loesch, and Junior jumped all over it.
Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Here's Ramos Ramirez with 2 outs. Breaking ball, 1-1. A win, and the Cubs would improve to 60-80 and drop the Brewers to that same mark. A 1-2 on the way and tight.
Greg had an idea what he wanted to do. He shook off a couple of pitches from Castile, then threw that running fastball down under the hands. Ramirez wouldn't bite.
Floated into center. Coming on is Sweeney. Cubs win. A 5-run first did the trick. The Brewers got close late, but the Cubs win game 1, 8-5, and improved to 4-3 on this homestand.
National League. Well, this is the year and the Cubs are in. So come on down to Wrigley Field. We're singing out, go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win. Baseball time is here again. You can catch it all on WGN. So stamp your feet and clap your hands. Chicago Cubs got the greatest band. And you're singing out, go Cubs, go!
Kevin Gregg is with us on the field. Kevin, 30 saves with 3 different teams. Does that mean something to you? That's pretty neat.
You know, it's one of those feats that you don't want to set out for, I guess, but I'll take it.
Yeah, well, it was an impressive show today. Now, just tell me a little bit about the psyche of a closer. It's a 7-2 game. You're probably thinking you got the day off. All of a sudden, boom, they throw that 3 spot up there on Strop, and you're right into game mode, or do you always stay in game mode?
You know, I kind of always stay kind of on edge, you know, and see how things are going to unfold, and, you know, it may end up backing into a save like today. You know, fortunately, we were able to come through and get the victory.
All right, now, truth or dare, whatever that game the kids play. You guys had a couple guys on in the bottom of the 8th, and we're up here thinking, all right, if the Cubs score, they're going to sit Kevin down, and his save goes away. What are you like, okay, go ahead and pop up and let me come in and finish this thing off? What does a closer think in that situation?
You know, 162 games, you can get plenty of opportunities, plenty of chances when you go out there. So, you know, if we do that and get another guy in the game, I'm okay with it.
Kevin, what have you changed in terms of your repertoire, maybe throwing your sinker a little bit more this year? What have you changed from the past?
To me, you know, I really came into this year really trying to zone down, just be down in the zone. And like you said, to start off with that sinker, this is the first year I've truly thrown a sinker. I may throw a handful my whole career, but, you know, this year it's been probably 95% sinkers.
Do you ever get nervous? Because you look the same all the time out there, especially in those big pressure situations. You don't look like anything bothers you.
Yeah, I'm starting to enjoy them. You know, I kind of like it. I get the nerves just like everybody else because we're a competitor, but, you know, I really enjoy that moment and having that, you know, pressure on my back.
Well, you're a pro. Congrats on save number 30. How about 35?
All right. Sounds good to me.
All right. Very good. Thanks, Kevin. Nice job today.
Thanks, guys.
That's Kevin Gregg, who got the save today. The Cubs win 8-5, the final.